Welcome back to another episode. An intriguing example of how the 1950s worldview merged with Riverdale's flair of soapy drama and intrigue was Chapter 121, Love and Marriage. Hasty nuptials. I'm going through phases, achieving greatness with simple goals. Even though things were easier, it doesn't mean they weren't messy. Example, Archie and Cheryl's deception. Cheryl's story descended into chaos in typical Blossom style, with lots of style and drama. If you thought it was terrible, their outlook only continued to get worse. For instance, why did their parents advise them to get married? Just sex, and they were still in high school. When Penelope and Clifford discovered Julian was dating other people, they most likely never panicked. His honor was, of course, without question. It was impossible not to feel sorry for Cheryl and Archie. If I were them, I'd be having panic attacks over things like when they made important decisions about their future, or the marriage test with Dr. Werther's. I adored how Cheryl and Archie came together in the midst of the mayhem. Although they weren't in a romantic relationship, they did become close friends. No matter how far this falsehood got them, Archie was always willing to lend a hand to Cheryl. Archie's commitment to Cheryl wasn't entirely healthy. Having a rescuer mentality in a relationship is not a good idea. But Archie's underlying nature, which he masterfully displayed in their relationship, is one of helping and protecting. Additionally, Cheryl was missing her family's lack of unconditional love and concern. She experienced that from Archie. Their ability to understand each other as friends and to love each other deeply enough to realize marriage wasn't the best choice for them was a touching growth of their characters. Cheryl should hopefully use this lesson to reflect on herself and develop. She avoided a serious threat that may have ended her and Archie's lives. She will be happiest if she begins adjusting to the changes as soon as possible. The same is true of Archie's growth. He needs to reflect on his past actions and the possible directions his life might have taken. He needs some alone time to think things over and quit acting recklessly. He doesn't need Uncle Frank to get him in shape. I'm delighted Kevin finally acknowledged his own desires. It didn't benefit either him or Betty to drag out their relationship. He was obviously after Clay. Kevin cheating on Betty was the last thing we needed. They took a positive step forward when they were able to establish loving friendships. Betty's tolerance in 1955 Riverdale was remarkably forward-thinking. It was lovely and brought about a nice change in their world. Alice is the real bad guy in all of this. She needs to leave and take care of her business immediately. The three things Alice did, calling Kevin's sexuality a phase, trying to control Betty's impulses and dating life, and sending Ethel to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy, were new lows for her, but they really blew my mind. The brazenness of Alice uttering all of these things while maintaining a straight face and a positive attitude made it seem like she hadn't just ruined a lot of lives. She will experience karma, and we will be here to witness it. Do you believe Tony's strategy for Fangs and Midge will be successful? She maintains her ambition and high standards, and for that we must give her credit. I mean, for anyone, becoming a wealthy and well-known singer in 4 months would be a tall dream. With Tony and her plans, no issue, she can handle this. She can fix Fangs' issue if she can devise a pregnancy test using a frog and Midge's poop. Let's hope that when Fangs eventually succeeds, there will be some plausibility. Riverdale won't ever let Fangs and Midge down. Let's all give Julian Blossom some applause for his empathy elsewhere in Riverdale. He truly only exercised the barest forms of virtue. Jughead had to give himself a well-earned smack to the face, but he managed to act to save Ethel's life. He's still a trash man and not as classy as he believes he is. When he realized it couldn't have been Ethel, he ought to have revealed her alibi sooner. The actor who portrays Julian, Nicholas Barash, is a nice and kind person. He's doing a wonderful job at capturing Julian's affluent, snobby style, as we discussed earlier. The murder mystery plot may at least now concentrate on identifying the proper killers. By freeing Jughead and Ethel, this choice aided the pacing and allowed us to spend less time worrying about their well-being. The fact that Jughead and Veronica kissed was the biggest surprise of the chapter. Anyone who predicted that they would start a romance so quickly deserves a pat on the shoulder. Finally, this is your time. Jughead and Veronica had strong chemistry, much like Archie and Cheryl. They complemented each other nicely, and their gazes constantly seemed to be filled with a sense of play. And it was a change of pace for her to see Veronica put everything else aside to support Jughead. Although it's unclear if they'll endure, it's a novel and intriguing concept. Additionally, their romance got off to a good start, so it will be intriguing to see how this pairing develops. Thanks for watching. For more, subscribe.